Thank you, Mr. President. It is an honor to participate in this interactive dialogue. I commend the High Commissioner and his team for an excellent report that lays out a distressing reality that was made even worse when a 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit Myanmar on the 28th of March, even as I was conducting research on the Thai-Myanmar border. 3 months after that earthquake struck, many continue to sleep on the streets, grappling with hunger, extreme heat, drenching rains, and infectious diseases. But instead of prioritizing the saving of lives, the junta has chosen to use aid as a political weapon. I have spoken with humanitarian workers who have been physically blocked from checkpoints from reaching those in desperate need. I have received reports of earthquake survivors who have been evicted from shelters with no place to go after resistance forces announced a ceasefire to focus on disaster relief. The junta felt compelled to follow, but shortly after announcing their own ceasefire, they accelerated attacks on villages. The High Commissioner's report lays out 4 pathways forward. The 4th entails the support and engagement of the international community. But at the very moment when the people of Myanmar need the support of the international community the most, that support is being drastically reduced. The impact has already been severe, and without a course correction will get exponentially worse. The Rohingya in IDP camps in central Rakhine State have experienced severe cuts in food rations. I have received reports of people dying from starvation. Without a renewed funding, most of the more than 100,000 refugees in Thailand will not receive any rations in August, just a few weeks from now. Food distribution for more than 1 million refugees in Bangladesh will stop in October without additional funding. Health clinics in refugee camps have shut down, forcing patients to face the consequences of going without treatment. Halfway through 2025, the Rohingya Humanitarian Crisis Joint Response Plan is only 22% funded. The Myanmar Humanitarian Needs and Response Plan is only 12% funded. In March, I noted the impact of the sudden, significant reduction of aid from the United States, and I implored other UN member states to step up and increase their level of support to at least partially offset this loss. I am deeply sorry to report that not only have many governments failed to step up to fill this gap, many have announced their own reductions in aid, even as they announce, as they did in the Netherlands this week, increases in military spending. Members of the Human Rights Council, we are on a terrible trajectory. As we speak, governments are cutting funding to save lives while increasing funding to take lives. Mr. President, the military junta needs 3 things to sustain itself. It needs money, it needs weapons, and it needs legitimacy. Governments and those in the private sector have demonstrated what is possible when action to reduce the junta's capacity to kill innocent people is taken. Action by the government of Singapore, for example, reduced the transfer of weapons and weapons materials to the junta through Singapore by over 90%. There has been a drop in transactions related to junta military procurement by some Thai banks, and Bangkok Bank ended its relationship to the junta-controlled Myanmar Economic Bank completely. These and other actions have led to a 1/3 reduction in the transfer of weapons materials to the junta using the international financial system. Action by the international community does make a difference, but more action is needed. And that should include addressing the junta's cynical attempt to seek legitimacy by announcing what they will call an election later this year. Members of the Human Rights Council, you cannot hold a democratic election when you arrest, detain, torture, and execute opposition leaders, when it is illegal for journalists to report the truth, or for people to express their opinions. It is imperative that all member states refuse to recognize this action as a legitimate election, because it will not be. Reversing the disastrous trend of reductions in aid to the people of Myanmar, weakening the junta's capacity to kill innocent people, and denying legitimacy to a decidedly illegitimate military junta are critical steps that the international community can and must take. There is no time to waste, and the people of Myanmar deserve nothing less. Thank you, Mr. President.